2025 is nearly here, and most people go through existence without having a goal. They live in a non-intentional manner, and they move through existence like a leaf is moved by the wind. They simply accept their circumstances, and usually these ones are not the brightest. You might be thinking, well, I don't need a goal. Man, if you don't want to live a purposeless, sad, hedonistic existence, you need a goal. The circuit in your brain that is responsible for anticipation is the one that is more active when you're moving towards something meaningful for you. And the more you get closer, the more reward the more closer to the reward you get, the more dopamine will get released into your nervous system, and the more drive and positive emotions you will experience. Your prefrontal cortex will be more activated for coordinating focus and executive function, solving thinking in order to reach your goal, and your default mode network will shut down. Your default mode network is, to simplify, your mind-wandering rumination state. And the more time you spend in your default mode network, and the more likely you will be to experience anxiety, grief, sadness, and also depression. Setting goals require some skill and knowledge. Of course, it's not rocket science, but there are some tips that you can use in order to set better goals that will increase your drive and motivation towards what you find meaningful and useful for yourself. I want you to take a journal or a piece of paper and your pen. I made also a PDF template that you can print and use to do the exercise that I'm going to guide you in the next section of this video. I also made a Word file that you can basically download and use it on your computer if you want to do the exercise on your PC. You can find links at both files in the description. First of all, what is the theme for this year? Think about your next year as a story. Every story have different themes that are treated into the novel. Lord of the Rings have different themes like power, friendship, love, courage, etc., etc. And when you will be older and think back in time, you won't remember exactly the promotion that you get, or you don't remember the exact friend gathering that you have it, or that argument that you had, or that nice day that you have passed with your spouse. You will look back and say, oh well, this year was really full of shit, or that was a year of accomplishment, a year of changes, and you will think about that year as a sum of all the experiences that you had in that time frame. So what I want you to do is to think about when you will be older, what do you want to think about 2025, okay? I want you to think about what is the theme that you want to have and write it down. Think about it as a chapter from a book and give it the title to your chapter. Write it down like, here I made some random examples. This would be a year of wisdom, or this would be a year of conquest. This would be a year of struggle. Whatever it means to you, just choose a theme for this year. What do you want to remember this time frame for? Step number 2. How can you embrace or leave your theme? Who you want to become like? Let's say this is your fitness chapter or strength chapter or discovery chapter. How are you going to live your theme? What are the general ideas? What is the character traits that you need to develop in order to live your theme? You have to become strong, you have to become a durable runner or a competent professional if you want to dedicate this year to increase your wealth and competence in your professional career. So give yourself an identity and list the character traits that you need to develop in order to become like that person. Let's say you want to become a durable runner this year, so you have to develop discipline, aerobic fitness, and consistency. Write your identity with a name, possibly, or a name and a couple of objectives. Next to it, write down the character traits that this identity possess. I know that that's very abstract thinking and it might sound even cringe for a little, but in order to set a precise goal that is authentic to you, this is necessary. the reason why this is necessary is because if we jump straight into goal setting for the year, you will probably set goals that you don't really give a shit about. That's because we usually think about what we want based on what our family tell us or what society tell us, and we are not really thinking what comes from us. We are not really thinking what truly comes from inside. And by doing these two steps, we are not really resolving the problem, but we are reducing it a little bit. Step number 3. Set 10 goals that you would like to achieve in the next 12 months. Write them with this formula. I plus verb plus what you want. For example, I am handsome, or I achieve first place in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu regional, or I earn 5k a month, or I lift 225 pounds on the bench press. You get the idea. A couple of tips here. Try to be as specific as possible with your goals so you will understand when you actually reach it at the end of the year, and also be ambitious. Don't set goals that are so low that you are sure on 100% that you will achieve them and get bored in the middle of the process, but don't ever set goals that are so high that you deeply know inside you that you're not going to achieve them. A good rule of thumb is set an impossible goal. By impossible, I mean something that you ever have never done and that you're not really sure you will be able to achieve. Let's say if you've never run a marathon, then setting the goal to run a marathon is a good goal. If you already ran a marathon, so you know you can do that, running a marathon is not a good goal anymore because you know you can do it and it's more easier. So you have to increase the difficulty of the goal. So instead of saying I will run a marathon, say I will run a marathon in a precise amount of time. So you will increase the difficulty of the goal and you will increase the effort that you will put in order to reach this one result. Once that you have your list of 10 goals that you would like to achieve in the next 12 months, ask yourself these two questions. Which goals will improve my quality of life the most if I was able to achieve it? Which goal is the most coherent with the identity and the team that I want to live this year? This is important because if you're able to align 100% who you want to become and the goals that you need in order to fulfill this identity, you will be more likely to succeed because your, how can I say, intrinsic motivational drivers will be aligned and you will go more straighter and be more driven towards achieving what you want to achieve. And choose 1 to 3 goals from your list, not more. Otherwise your attention will be too much splitted and you won't be able to achieve nothing that you have set before. Step number 4. Performance goal setting and chunking. Right now, verify your end-year goals are framed in a smart way so that they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant to your identity, and time contingent. We already made sure that they are time contingent, relevant to your identity, and achievable. So be sure that they are specific and measurable. Now, from your goal from the end of the year, create 2 intermediate goals to reach before. One before 1st September and the other one before 1st May, so that you have a more proximate thing to look for and you get a feedback at whether you're getting closer to what you want to reach at the end of the year or you're getting farther from it. I will use the running example so that it will be more easier to understand. Let's say you want to run a marathon before 31st December, so before 1st September you will likely want to run a half a marathon, and before 1st May you would like to run a 10-kilometer run, okay? You will chunk down the thing that you want to do and reduce it in little intermediate steps. Step number 6. Learning goals and actions. Learning goals are the things that you do on a day-to-day basis in order to get closer to that big result that you're looking for at the end of the year. Ask yourself, what do I need to do on a daily or monthly or weekly basis in order to get closer? What do I have to learn in order to have that result that I want? Let's use the running example again. If I want to run a marathon at the end of the year, I need to hire a coach that follow me in my trainings so that I can run that marathon at the end of December. I have to, for example, buy shoes for running. I have to start actually training to running 3 times a week and increase by 1 kilometer every day. I have to regulate my nutrition so I can extract the best out of my training, etc., etc. What I want to tell you is, don't try to make a big list of things that you need to do. Just focus on the most important things that are necessary and repeat them as much as possible. For example, what I've just listed for running, so hire a coach, buy good shoes, regulate nutrition, start running, all of this stuff are quite important, but then also identify that one thing that will absolutely get you more closer than the other. And I know that nutrition is good and running good and buying good running shoes is a good thing, but if you don't fucking run, you will not be able to run a marathon at the end of the year. So the most important thing here is running. Identify the most important input that will give you most of the output, okay? In this case would be running 3 times a week. That's the most important thing that you have to do. The other can get the fuck out, but you need to start running. And whatever it is, apply to your specific case in order that you do the thing that actually lead you closer to your results. Step number 7, make time for your action. Now that you know what you have to do on a day-to-day basis, you need to make time for it. So schedule it down in the calendar, Google Calendar, your day-to-day action. If you have troubles with that, I've made a video about time management. You have the link in the description also for it. In general, what you need to do is take the list that you need to perform on a day and weekly basis and start to insert it in the calendar on the precise days of the week and that precise hour of the day. And remember, if you don't actually take action toward your goals, all of this thinking will be just mental masturbation that will not serve you for nothing. So please insert everything in your calendar with a precise time and a day. So this is necessary. You need to say a day and a time of the day to perform this action and repeat it every week. Be consistent. When you insert activity on calendar, you get the option to repeat. So you click on it and you will click on every week. So right now you should have a series of clear action that you can perform and can lead you closer to that outcome that you dreamt of. And this action should be repeatable week to week, okay? You have to do it for a prolonged period of time in order to have your results. That's it. So we started from an abstract idea of what you would like this chapter of your life to look like, and now we got a precise plan to make this idea reality. Now it's just your turn to take action and get it. This I can't do that for you. I tried to make the video and the explanation as clear as possible so that you can live the 2025 that you deserve. But I understand that maybe it could be difficult to do a strategic planning for a long time, okay? And also it's difficult to remain consistent during it. So if you need help to lay down your plan for your goals for 2025, DM me at Instagram to Existential Conditioning and book a free call with me on Discord so that I can help you figure out what you need to do and to apply this knowledge to your specific case. Thank you for watching till here. I hope that this was kinda useful. Remember to aim upward and keep searching for strength.